What up, what up, what up? It's Potch.
It's your boy Cuban.
And thank you for joining us here again. Another Tuesday at the Spittlez.
Yes,
As always, we thank you for vibing with us.
Thank you for
coming to join us because you know what it's all about.
Motherfucking week, I tell you that.
It's all about us getting together.
Time. Thank you for pulling up. Thank you for enjoying the show every week. I gladly appreciate y'all for pulling up. Today we got a special guest, y'all.
Yes, sir. Today we have in the building aspiring model,
yes, sir,
current activist,
yes, sir,
and future podcaster,
yes, sir,
Buddha Badu.
Woo!
Holla. Show the love, show the love.
Everybody in America, we live, we in action, we here.
Out here. At the Spittlez,
It's a pleasure to have you, my brother.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
I feel so honored.
Yes, sir. Thank you for accepting the invitation to come join us here, because we always invite everybody to come vibe with us here at the Spittlez. You know what I'm saying? We gonna
anytime
light
is a
the
good
breeze
vibe.
up.
Yes.
You
know, it's always, and that goes to all our viewers too. If you got it, light it.
Light it. You know how it goes. Light it. Hit the live chat.
Always.
Let us know you here with us, because you know we love that as well, man.
Make sure that spliff in 10 is lit in 10, so everything could be lit in 10.
Anytime you think, is it a good time to light it? The answer is yes.
Yes.
Every time.
You shouldn't even have to think about it. You shouldn't even have to. But with that said, can you tell our viewers about yourself?
Yeah, give viewers a little insight on who Buddha Badu is, bro.
That's a good question. I'm multifaceted, if I'm gonna say. Real connected with my culture, so I'm Jamaican and Puerto Rican, but born and raised in Brooklyn. So that's where you grow up.
Oh yes,
tough.
sir. Right here.
If you grow up in here, if you could really grow up in Brooklyn, you can make it anywhere. Because the rats is the size of Pokemon. So you really.
I think if you grow up in, I just think if you grow up in New York City, period, you can grow up anywhere.
New York City is very much Gotham City, so I very much happy that I was able to be born in the best city on earth. I hate it because it is a piece of crap, but it is my piece of crap.
That's a fact.
So nobody else can talk about New York City but those who live here. But yeah,
we know how to cherish it.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I was born here. I was born in Brooklyn. The oldest of what is now 4, and also the only boy. So of course you have to be born with that like protector and type of mind state. My father actually passed away at a very, very early age. I was 2 years old when he was like very much murdered.
Oh wow, man. Sorry to hear that, brother.
Listen, it's the game. It's how the game go. And I ain't gonna hold you. My father was very much in the game, but the crack epidemic, nobody was safe from that. And during the 80s, during the 90s, you either knew somebody who was selling crack or you knew somebody who was doing crack.
I don't think people know how real that was, dog. I grew up in Bushwick.
Very much ridiculous.
I know exactly what you're talking about. They called my neighborhood the dark side, and it was very much dark, dog. Like,
that's why I was asking him when we was walking through here. He was like, yo, my stomping grounds was through here. I said, yo, this all used to look like this? He was like, nah.
Hell no.
Yo, downtown Brooklyn, they start building stuff on like Sunday and they be done by Monday. And I'd be like really shocked. Like, how?
They putting it together.
Who's funding this?
Yeah, it's a fact.
They super funding. They got the speed button on funding.
When you live in the P's, it's like they start building stuff and you lucky if it ever get done. They don't want to start finishing stuff until the black people move out. But, that's a conversation for another day. But yeah, born in Brooklyn, and my father passed away at an early age. So I went from Crown Heights to Flatbush. And my mom really bust her ass and did it by herself. And as a kid, I always was like, I don't know, very much curious about the world, And I wasn't really doing what other kids was doing. Like, other kids was outside. I very much was like in the crib watching like nature documentaries and stuff like that. Because I just knew there was more to the world than just the projects. You feel me? I just knew that. And also it was just like my father passing away was also like a motivator to me. Like I felt like you go to the streets, that's what's gonna happen to you. So let's try our hardest. You feel me? To just like bust your ass and see what this really gives. So I tried my best to really much be like the smart kid in class and all of that stuff, but I also was on the side doing the project shit and shit like that. I was very much fighting growing up because I was very much the only light-skinned kid and the short kid.
You have no choice, right?
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Slug it out.
Slug it out even the where I was fighting to eat. I felt like niggas was in like Lion King or something. This was ridiculous. But you got what you gotta do.
It was fucking E to be in, right? You know what I'm saying?
But at the end of the day, like I sat there and said, that's New York for you. You got to really, it gives you that toughness that no other place really going to sit there and give you. But I want to say, like, maybe my whole mentality of, like, life just started to really, like, change in, like, high school. I really started diving into my spirituality, and that's where, like, the name Buddha Badu comes from. I was very much raised in a Christian household. It was to the point where we was out here getting Bible lessons from Jehovah's Witnesses, but they ain't like studying with Lil Eli, because Lil Eli always asking questions like, that don't make sense. Like, hold on.
Eli trying to break it down, you heard?
Tell me that don't make sense. Like, they telling me stories. I'm like, that's cool. Where the dinosaurs at? Because at some point, right, they're like, nah, that didn't happen. What you mean? That's not what. But that's a story for another day. You feel
That's
me?
a big fact. We do another episode on that, player.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all can have me back. We can talk about it. But
Yes, sir.
in like all these different religions that I was looking at and studying and like looking at what their beliefs are, I was looking at Buddhism, and Buddhism really wasn't a religion in the sense that I saw it at. I don't know. Like Buddhism is more of a philosophy. You feel me?
Okay.
With religion, this is what you need to do in order to get these results. Buddhism is like, this is what you should do if you want to get certain results. And the one thing I loved about Buddhism, it was like, just go out, go see for yourself. And
Buddhism is more of the practice.
You feel me? It doesn't matter what your beliefs in. It's more about how you practice those beliefs. So that really gave me the freedom to like more study myself. You feel what I'm saying? So that's where the name Buddha came from, because the name Buddha means to be enlightened. And during that time, I really started listening to Erykah Badu, because a lot of artists really sing and rap about just
Nothing.
You know what I'm sitting here saying?
Man.
Getting money, getting bitches, getting this,
we can
getting
talk about that all day, player. I tell you.
But Erykah Badu was the first artist that I heard that was really singing about the shit that I was thinking about.
Big facts, relatable
Reincarnation
shit.
and all types of shit. I'm like, is anybody else seeing this? Like, nobody else feeling this, or it's just me? So, and her last name, Badu means, to get high. So the name Buddha Badu altogether is, to get high off enlightenment. And I think that's what we all really chasing inside this
That's
world.
crazy.
Yo, big
I ain't
props
gonna lie.
for that, man.
I ain't gonna lie. You just taught me something, because I didn't know Badu meant to get high.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. I didn't know that either.
Can we get a round of applause for that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either. You just enlightened me, my brother.
I ain't gonna lie.
Big facts.
Because look, my side effect genetic is a Buddha. The logo is a Buddha.
Yeah, it's got a Buddha face.
That Badu, I'm gonna add that. I'm gonna
Listen. I like that.
You got something with that.
I like
That's
that.
crazy.
Maybe
bro.
I'll do a lot of shout outs, but shout out to Erykah Badu, because she
shout out to Erykah Badu.
very much saved my life
in
in high school. You feel
That's a
me? Very
legend.
much. And I just kept it pushing from there. Went to college, and then at some point I realized I didn't really care to be the smart kid in the sense of being the best in the class. You feel me? I'm trying to really figure out what life is. And
I hear you.
with that being said, I was like, conventional education isn't for me. And I did maybe a year and a half in college. I really bust my ass as hard as I can. And at some point, it was just like, they not giving niggas financial aid no more. They don't tell you about that part of college, okay? College is a trap. But
That shit is mostly on
listen,
you now.
America, college is an investment. It's an investment. And if you ain't got the money and the time to invest, please don't just feel like college is going to be the end-all, save-all, because there's a lot of individuals that have very much graduated and have degrees and have no jobs to really show for all these student loans that they have inside their name. But past all of that, I want to see how far can I make it with just me. And I started making it real far. I went through some bumps in the road, you feel me? I very much was homeless at one time and was sleeping in park benches in Brownsville. But even that was a life-changing experience for me, because that led to my career of very much now helping other young people. And I see myself in these individuals every time they walk through like the doors and stuff like that, facing the same problems that I was facing when I was at their age. And I'm in a position where I'm like making bread that I never thought I would sit there and be making. You feel me? To go from like zero to now being able to be like, I ain't got no more weed. I'm gonna just cop that. I'm hungry. Let me just, I'm sitting here saying, to be able to just have that type of freedom, that is very much like not only life-changing, but it's spiritually freeing. And I'd be wanting to teach other young people the Buddhist philosophy of, listen, this is not what you have to do, but if you want to get certain results, maybe this is what you should do. You know what I'm sitting here saying? And that's the main goal of life. You live as a student and die as a teacher. And that's what I really much be trying to do. What I do now, after all these bumps in the road and fights I had to have been through and I'm in a really good place. Currently, I'm a model. Took a little break, but Elijah back in the game. You feel me? Elijah is back in the game. Okay.
Yo, you heard that? You heard that, Lou? He's into the modeling.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that. I'm doing photography right now as well, so we can definitely talk about some of that.
Back in the game. So, what would I be in and said? I also am an activist currently working to dismantle systems, harmful systems against black people, specifically the prison industrial system, because it is a system. And not only is it a system, but it's a machine that makes money off the backs of black people. Nearly half of the individuals who are currently incarcerated are black. And when you look at many of the things that you wouldn't even expect around your home, the things that you buy, many of these things are made inside of, prisons for pennies.
Sure.
And then sold to us for $20, $30, giving these people how much a percent of profit, you know what I'm sitting here saying? Y'all could do the math. That's a lot of math, but y'all could do the math. That's a lot of profit that these individuals will be making.
That's a fact.
Based off
the back of them getting paid pennies.
Slavery ain't never end, you feel me? It just went from the plantation to the prisons. And I've seen the effects that it has on young people. When you go to prison, you really are never the same after that.
That is.
And I believe there are better ways in rehabilitation, more restorative techniques, as opposed to very punitive techniques that we use right now. So I don't know. I just be trying to make a difference any way I can, and just here to have a good time. America.
That's what's up. That's a beautiful thing to push, though, because not too many people have their mindsets on such agendas. You know what I mean?
On just helping someone else, period.
Yeah.
People always remember what you were saying? People be so into just helping themselves, but you're trying to open up a platform where you can help others. You know what I'm saying?
And people don't understand. Some people can't resonate with that because that's an issue that they don't seem to consider anyway, because they have no attachment to it. They've never been to jail, or they have no one dealing with the issues of the system. You know what I mean?
But that'd be the main problem when it comes to this sense of empathy. You don't ever have to experience something for it to not, exist, and that's the problem.
That's a fact.
Mm-hmm. Like, I've never had cancer, right? I have complete empathy for those who are suffering from it. You feel
Indeed.
me? Because I know that you are suffering from something that I unfortunately do not have and hopefully will never get, but that doesn't really take away from the fact that this is a problem that exists. Mm-hmm. So it when people move like that, it surprises me, and it's funny to me because it's like the way karma works, okay? This may not be your problem now, but when you have children and they come home to you with these type of issues, how are you gonna feel?
That's a fact.
A lot of white people.
Then you can relate after that.
A lot of white people can't connect to the struggles of black people, and I perfectly understand, because these are struggles that you've never had to live through your life. But what happens when you're grandkids are black and they have to deal with these struggles? You know what I'm saying? And saying, your great grandkids are black, and now this is a world that you unfortunately have kind of created for them. You don't really know the type of future that you're creating for tomorrow. So instead of complaining about it, and instead of not really connecting to the problems that you don't think exist because they never happened to you, just do your part and fix it. Do your part and fix it. You feel me? Do
get involved,
You know what I'm sitting here saying? And you ain't got to be Jesus, but do as much as what's comfortable to you. You know what I'm sitting here saying? You got to make sure your cup is still full. Mm-hmm. You got to make sure that you take care of yourself. And once your cup is full, then it's overflowing. Let it overflow to somebody else's cup. You know what I'm sitting here saying? People just try to keep it all to themselves. It's not.
It's a fact.
That's not
definitely a fact, and that's not good. If you got some knowledge and you can share it, you should share that knowledge. You shouldn't keep that to yourself.
Each one teach one philosophy, and that shit's been faded
long time ago.
Yeah, like
shit been shot down and put in the ground and stepped all over it because everybody just keep running over it.
Yeah, they just keep worrying about themselves because the knowledge you've acquired that's not the last bit of knowledge, bro. There's more out there. There's more for you. There's more for them. The money you've acquired, there's still more money out there for them. Like, I don't understand why people try to shout to shit like it's the last of it. Like,
I don't know. I believe in attraction, bro. I believe in the law of attraction. I believe that what you really think inside your head is what's going to attract you. So if you keep moving and keep having this energy of competition about you, then that's all you're gonna really get. You're gonna start getting is just more reasons to compete.
That's a fact.
And that shit is I don't believe in you can't compete. You can't compete if you don't compare. I am the best at what I do. Okay.
Exactly.
I need you to be the best at what you do. Because instead of competing, instead of focusing on competition, I like to focus,
better?
you know what I'm saying? Let's focus on contribution. Let's push it together.
Push it together.
Let's
Exactly.
push it together.
You got a little, I got a little. Let's make a lot.
If you doing good on that side, I'm doing good on this side. How about we bring it together and figure out how we gonna make everything work coordinately.
Exactly.
It's so difficult to do things by yourself.
But I like how you said I'm not comparing. I'm not competing because I'm not comparing. That's fucking. I drop an applause for that because that's a big fact.
You can't compete if you don't compare. That's it.
Why would you sit there and look around? That's where people feel like they fail or they're not doing enough because they sit there and they compare their life with others that they feel may be doing more than them, and then beat themselves up because they're not accomplishing as much. Or
I mean, there's a thin line between something being healthy and something being very toxic. And on one hand, comparing yourself to other people can be a healthy thing if you do it in the right way. You see a successful person, and it's like, okay, I see how they got successful. Let me see how the fuck I could sit there and try what they do. But as human beings, we fall into a trap. And I really do blame, like, we have to, at some point, and I'm not that young of a person, I'm not really old, you feel what I'm saying? So to do this big move is a big move for a person my age, okay? I had to delete Instagram. Oh my God. Wow, shit.
That's it. Deactivate. You said, oh shit.
It was hard to delete
What are you
Instagram. Why did I delete Instagram? Because I noticed, and maybe it was the Spliffs, because Spliffs be doing that sometimes, but every time I was on Instagram, I would just get sad. I didn't know why. I would just get sad.
Why? Because it's too much fucked up shit going on Instagram. It's nothing positive.
Not even. I know this. I think the reason was because when you're on Instagram, you see a whole bunch of people living these fake lives, fantasies that you unfortunately will start to see and believe I could never have. If you're a person like myself who's going really, really hard in the gym and working out, you feel me? And I've gotten really far in some of my workout goals, okay? Everybody, right? I gained I think about 15 pounds within was 8 months. It was a really hard journey for someone like me who don't eat, all right? It was very hard. But to me, that's a personal accomplishment. But then you go on Instagram and you see somebody steroided up and shredded. You only see the background story of how they got all those big ass muscles. That's
a fact.
Fake. All you see is
you see the finished product.
That is very, very. What's the word I'm looking for? It makes you not want to try no more. It makes you not want to try no more. You working really hard.
Disinterested?
Very much disinterested.
Yeah, or discouraged.
Discouraged.
Yeah.
That's the word. Discouraged. Word of the day, discouraged.
Oh yeah, that shit. Yeah, I'm not getting there. Fuck it. Like that's not for me.
How the fuck this?
Look at him. What? I'm supposed to do that?
You work hard in your business, whether you see other people taking these pictures of their business opening. They don't show the story of how many businesses they just had to close down because they're bad business owners. But on Instagram, you see this new business they just opened up and shit look lit. And it makes you feel like, what am I doing? But once I deleted Instagram, it gave me a little, I'm back, everybody. I'm back. I had to take a mental health check. Sometimes you got to take those for yourself. But once I deleted Instagram for a little while, it really just gave me the opportunity to really focus on, okay, what do I want to do? Fuck what social media is telling me I need to accomplish. What do I personally want to sit there and accomplish? Because that's the first step in negatively comparing yourself to other people, doing what social media or doing what society tells you need to accomplish, as opposed to accomplishing the things that you personally want to sit there and do. Black men do this a lot, and I think this is the reason why, unfortunately, black men are the unhappiest individuals on earth. We kill ourselves more than not black men, but men. Period.
Us from the culture.
Because we're so used.
Our worst critic,
and we're so used to being like successful for everybody else, to being successful for our family, to being successful for the pressures of society, and because you are a man, you have to X, Y, and Z, and as opposed to just being successful for you and doing what you are the best at doing you feel me? That's where that toxic masculinity, quote unquote, or quote, you feel me, comes from.
Trying to meet the standards.
Trying to meet this standard that doesn't motherfucking exist. It never existed. It never existed. It don't exist at all.
Because individuality is to each own's perception, right?
Yeah.
Like that's not dependent on what this man is doing or what he's done, and it's your experiences and your.
But other people will base that off of what he done, of what you done too.
Yeah, 100%.
Niggas would definitely base that like, oh, why he did all of this and you are in the same field and you didn't do. People would definitely do that too.
Like different strokes for different folks, though. You know how that shit go, right? Like everybody ain't gonna do things the same. You know what I mean?
What I always say, what works for him is not gonna work for the next person.
At all times, you feel me? At all times, but then at the same time, it's just like. I'm gonna say a lot of Buddhist stuff, okay, and I apologize.
Nah, throw that.
Shouts out to the Buddhists.
You feel me? I apologize, but we are the same person going through different stories. You feel me? And when you realize that, you also realize that we are more alike than different, right? Everybody do the same stupid shit. Like we all do the same stuff. Like
we probably could list a bunch of shit.
I can tell you. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something that we all do. Everybody watching at home everybody in America. Let me say something. We all do.
Okay.
We all walk in the bathroom and see that toothpaste is empty, and we will still roll that shit as if we're gonna be able to get whatever last drop of sin.
Squeeze the shit out of it. Cut off, crimpled up.
Or if not, cut the shit.
We out here, motherfucker. These scissors. We out here using scissors. And here's the crazy thing.
Nigga, throw it away already.
Here's the crazy thing, and I think it was just me, but scissors is always around the house, except when you need the bullet shits.
No shot. You want to hear something? I told my wife in the supermarket they got them tube squeezers. I'm like, we need to get one of them shits. Being fancy with it.
I'm cooking. I need spices and scissors everywhere. Like I'm gonna season my food with scissors. But the one day I need some motherfucking scissors, there's no scissors. So you got to cut the toothpaste with a knife. But my thing about it is, it don't.
Niggas be out there biting it.
You know what I'm saying? It don't matter if you a Muslim. It don't matter if you're a Buddhist. It don't matter if you're a Christian. It don't matter if you're atheist. It don't matter. We all do that same stupid shit. We are all more alike than different.
You're all human. That's
you know
why.
You heard? So when you sit there and realize that, then that right there, in a way, leads to the true sense of individuality. And people don't really get that point. So they sit there and like they try to be different. You see, and my generation has done this stupidly. I'm so sorry. By the way, I know what I think of my generation and stuff like that. I'm 24, right? So that's generation one. What generation would that be?
Nah, but the ideals and stuff that you're speaking on, I don't meet many 24-year-olds that are speaking like that. In that fashion. That's a big fact. I'm gonna have to give you that right there. You know, what I mean?
That's what you was talking about, the old souls, right, Lou?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, the old soul theory, because I'm like, no matter how young you are, sometimes like there's 9-year-olds out there that operate in a fashion where you would be like, this nigga is mature as hell, like, you know, and he knows things that normal 9-year-olds wouldn't know, and it's because there's a theory where you carry soul fragments from your.
We've all been here before.
There you go.
I say this all the time. We've all been here before.
Yeah.
And if we getting real deep, but let's get deep. Let's get deep. Let's get deep with it.
That's what we're here for.
When you really look at it, okay, one of the smartest people in the world, Albert Einstein. What did he sit there and say? Matter cannot be created or destroyed. It always changes form. That's it. So you cannot create matter. You can't destroy matter. It just changes.
Yes.
That means the same matter that existed when the dinosaurs were here is the same matter that's here now.
It just changed.
The same oceans that we are swimming in when the dinosaurs were here are the same. That's the same exact water we're swimming in right now. You feel me? Only that's in Rockaway Beach right now, that's having so much fun, or just down the third, or want to go there when the summertime comes, or Coney Island Beach. Listen, that's where T-Rex was walking at some time.
Brontosaurus in that bitch before.
All these things have been here before. You feel me? So with that much being said, it's just energy doesn't really go anywhere. Energy just changes form. Changes form from staying still, from potential energy to moving, which is kinetic energy. Then staying still, then moving. So a lot of people, this is the reason why like my relationship with death is very different. I'm sorry. Thank you. My relationship with death is like very different. Don't invite me to your funerals if you want me to cry, because I'm not going to cry. I'm not one of those.
I stand by that same opinion.
I'm so sorry. I'm not going to cry. In fact, funerals are fun for me. This is my opportunity. First of all, for me, funerals are a fashion show. I don't know about anybody else, but black is my favorite color. So when I sit there and go to a funeral, I'm going to a funeral with the idea of who's going to wear the best black outfit, and the answer is me. I'm coming in dressed down. The big hat, the Undertaker hat that he was out here with. I'm coming with the black trench coat.
Strongly.
You feel me? I'm going to have a black rose to leave by the body.
No
so
shorts.
you feel what I'm saying? But all of that to being said, I understand that when somebody passes, you don't see them again. There's so much stuff that my little sister does that reminds me of my grandmother. And my grandmother died literally, I would say within the first 2 years of my baby sister being born. My grandmother always said, I just want to see my last grandchild get born and then she's going to pass away. She kept telling everybody, this is the reason why my grandmother passed away, I knew what it was going to be. Because she kept telling everybody, yo, my time is coming. You know what I'm saying? My time is coming. And you really got to listen to these older individuals because, you know, old people and babies are very unique because old people are going where the babies just came from, if that makes sense. So they're
I dig that.
very connected. You know what I'm sitting here and saying? And with that being said, it's just like, this is why I always sit there and say, like, if someone passes inside your family, everybody keep your phone on because somebody's about to announce that they're pregnant. It's a life for a life. This is how these things they're supposed to be.
I'm sure a lot of people can attest to that. As a matter of fact, my sister-in-law, her grandmother passed away. Her grandmother was telling everybody that it was her time.
She's trying to tell y'all.
My sister-in-law, as far as she knew, had some issues that wouldn't allow her to be pregnant. And when her grandmother passed away, they said that she was going to become pregnant. And sure enough, she did. And my nephew is due in July.
Girl,
so
if you're
God
watching
bless
out
to
there,
that.
you feel me? Let me get a little clap from the universe. You feel me?
That was that right there. Exactly what you're talking about. And I'm sure a lot of people can attest to that.
It's a life for a life. The scales of it just has to stay balanced. You feel me? And with that much being said, it's just like understand. This is why a lot of people who's like going through the same issues of like fertility and trying to get pregnant, things like that. It's just like I try to tell people, you know, sometimes it's not always you. You just really have to wait. And at the time that you feel like this is the worst time for me, which is usually a death, that's the time that the universe is a little bit like, balance. You feel me? And you're going to get the life that you're expecting. And that baby is going to remind you so much of the person that you just lost. You know, like I said, my baby sister does so much things that I'm like, yeah, you've definitely been here before. But that's because you have. Yeah. You know, we all have. And when we really sit there and connect to that part of the matter that has always been here, that has just changed form over and over and over again, it's like, I don't know, it's something special. It gives you all the answers that you're really looking for because there is not any answer. Well, not any answer. There's not any problem in the world that you haven't seen before, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? You are the result of 1 million people. I don't think people really understand how evolution really works. You know what I'm saying? You are the result.
Nobody knows how.
Nobody. I don't think.
There's a story of monkeys.
Let me give you a little lesson. Only the best of the best are allowed to have kids in any species. Only the best of the best in any natural setting. That means every person walking on earth, you are a result of the best of the best of the best of the best. Everybody else died off. They could not spread their genes. If you are alive today, you better sit there and kiss yourself because you are a result of the best person, the best people that have walked this earth. And that's how it's always have sat there and been. And in my worst moments, I think about that. You know, I don't got to stress. I ain't got to stress. My ancestors lived through the Black Plague. My ancestors lived through slavery.
That's a fact.
My ancestors lived through.
Yeah.
You feel me?
That's crossed off the list.
You know what I'm saying? You give me a catastrophe and my ancestors lived through it. You know why? Because I'm here right now. And if they didn't, I wouldn't be here.
That's a fact. The lineage still lives on.
Yes, sir. It's still spreading.
And never ending.
Passes through time. Passes
That's a fact.
That's
a fact. Because all of us, like you just said, it never will end. There's never a beginning nor an end because it's seamless. Yeah. It's never ending. There's never a loss. And that's a great philosophy to live by because a lot of people worry about losing people or things, not realizing that sometimes even in materialistic matters, you lose something, that should open doors for you to receive other things. You know what I mean?
Buddha's Law 101. Everybody, the root of suffering is attachment. You know what I'm saying? The root of suffering is attachment. We trick ourselves into believing like these things are ours and nothing is ours. Like nothing is mine. Nothing is mine. The only thing that is mine is the person that's inside of me of who I bear. Not even the things that I buy is mine. You know what I'm sitting here saying? Because all those things can be lost at any time. And when I didn't realize that until I really sat there and like lived through homelessness for a little while. And just, you know what I'm saying? In one little swoop, your whole world could sit there and change. Nothing is yours. Nothing is yours. But what is yours is how
never
you
get too attached.
Don't get too attached to anything. Don't get too attached to anyone, because everybody is here for a specific purpose. Some people is here to guide you through longer parts of your story than other people. It's like people are like groceries. You know what I'm saying? It's like milk. You know? And when milk is good. But when the milk expires, you going to keep that bad milk in your fridge. No. So why y'all keep these bad relationships and these bad people? It's expired. Mm-hmm. Throw the milk out.
Get rid of it. Exactly. Why you holding on to it?
Throw the milk out. You gonna keep pouring cereal with that nasty ass milk. Then you getting mad because your stomach hurting. Stupid. Throw the milk out. Then guess what you could do? You could get new milk.
That's a fact. It's just like the toothpaste, though.
Throw the toothpaste out.
The fuck?
Throw the toothpaste out.
Why you still squeezing that damn tube?
That's another thing.
Because the toothpaste probably don't get rotten.
That's another thing that we do. You know what I'm saying?
Cupid trying to find logic in it.
You know what I'm saying? The toothpaste don't get rotten, my boy.
He checking the date on the crimpled ass tube. Nigga uncrimpled it to look at the date. Nah, it's still good, dog. There's something in there.
Something still in here.
The toothpaste got an expiration date. I ain't never checked. Certain things I don't think get rotten. You know what I'm sitting here saying? I'm from the project.
Nigga, you should be using it fast enough, first of all.
I'm from the peas. There's certain things. Let me say something. Peanut butter, honey. You feel me? I ain't never seen these things rot. Tell me you ever seen rotten peanut butter. That shit. Barbecue sauce. I've never seen rotten barbecue sauce in my life.
You held it too long.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't never really seen no rotten peanut butter.
You know what I'm sitting here saying?
And I'm just be sitting in my cabinet
for years.
I'm not gonna hold you. I might have done it once or twice, and that's only because I may not have touched it.
Yeah, like just been sitting there, and you went and just it was still. Like it probably had that little bit of oil on top. Yeah,
but it was still Gucci.
Yeah,
everybody know about the oil on top.
You mix that bitch up.
Well,
that they don't mean shit.
You just gotta put that in the sink and just be like, it's okay.
Nah, fuck that. That's the peanut oil.
They don't mean shit.
Yeah, that's the George
Washington. You mix that right back in, dog. You stir that right back in.
That's part of it. That bitch right back in there.
There's certain things, like I sat there and said, I've never sat there and seen rot. And then there's other things that rot the next day. Bread. I buy it on Monday. It's gone by Monday evening because the moment you open that bread, that shit get moldy by like
as soon as the air touches.
You know what I'm sitting here saying?
It's over, bro.
There's certain things that's just terrible. And like I said, I grew up in the Peas. I grew up in Flatbush. Vanderveer Projects for 18 years of my life. And you learn a lot of stuff growing in Vanderveer Projects. First of all, the motto of Vanderveer Projects is, if you're not from Veer, don't come here. So think about that. That's the welcoming. You're not from Veer, please don't come here.
That's the vibe. Yeah.
But that also means that ain't nobody coming to save you. you in the Peas, baby. And it's a different type of experience living inside the Peas. You feel me? I done woke up and the food that I definitely bought was stolen by whatever creature of the night decided to take it. And it's yours now.
That's it. It was available.
It was available. It's my fault.
I live in the mountains, bro, and people be having shit
the mountains?
outside. And I live in West Point, New York. I live in past Bear Mountain. Yeah, so I come from far. Yeah, but in a neighborhood where everything is outside, and I'm like,
what you mean,
nigga? Like niggas be leaving their bikes everywhere, barbecue grills, and I'm like,
doors wide open, cars open, everything out there.
Open?
Niggas would have took all of that.
Open? Why do people do that?
Because they feel safe. It's comfortable.
That is the least place to feel comfortable.
I told Cube, I drove by one day past this crib that had 3 big-ass lawnmowers on the lawn talking about for sale. And it was like 10 p.m.
And they was like, just leave the money in the bucket. And they trusted people to just leave the money in the bucket.
Or something. I'm like, what if a truck backed up in the middle of the night and just snatched them shits?
When we look through history, most of these people that like, not get killed, because people get killed in the projects every day, but the projects is really not really home to serial killers, right? People can kill one person.
Situational killers.
They situational killers. Most of the time they kill one person, 2 people, they end up getting caught because people, they don't make killing a profession. They just get pushed to kill it.
Some impulsive shit.
Now, when you look at serial killers, where they killing these people at? In these same homes that they leaving these doors just wide open at. You know what I'm saying? He's saying, right in the middle of the woods where not only can I kill you, I'm going to drag your body to your own backyard and people will never find it. And I'm going to just go home like nothing ever happened.
They live in some
but in those
secluded places.
Up there, a lot of times they can hold a shotgun in their home. So if anything like that happens.
That's why I feel like, yeah.
That's
why I told Cube with the lawnmower, with the lawn full of lawnmowers, I said, homie probably come out. That's his property. He probably could come out on the lawn if he sees something popping
And just with a shotgun and just
Like-
and
like-
defend himself.
like
That's
in
allowed.
North-
That's allowed out there.
In
Yeah.
North Carolina, it's a stand your ground state, so you could literally just walk around like if you have a permit for the pistol, and you could just anywhere you go. You know what I'm saying? And
these stand your ground laws are very much interesting. Like it does really promote you
It's
to
a-
move to these places. Like, how much guns can I own?
yeah, you
feel
can
me?
literally just if you have a clean record, no felonies, no anything, you can walk in and get the North Carolina license. You can walk in there with a pistol.
Did everybody know that if you want a weed license, you cannot have a weed license and a gun license at the same exact time? That's how they, and
I know
that
that either.
is how they get you. You feel what I'm
Yeah.
sitting here and say?
You gotta be a party of two now.
Everything comes with a clause, and a lot of dispensaries and other places like Canada and X, Y, and Z, who also face the same type of laws, even weed places inside of Colorado, not really in LA because their weed laws is a little bit up. Like they do what they gotta do to protect their people, but because you can't own a weapon at the same time as owning a weed license, they have no way of protecting their shops. You see, every bar, most bars, they got a gun somewhere inside that bar.
Yeah. Shit, right
They got-
underneath the counter. Go ahead and play
Get
yourself.
crazy if you want to in an alcohol place. Oh, go to a liquor store, get crazy.
Or the bouncer got it somewhere
You
close.
feel me? It don't matter who is
I will pour
behind.
something out you don't want to see.
It don't
you
matter.
heard?
It don't matter what race of person is behind that counter. That aim is crisp, and whatever they pull out is going to blow you back. But you can go to these marijuana places and you can rob these people blind, and they cannot protect themselves.
As it's been happening from what I've seen.
all over the place,
Yeah.
and they can't even report it. All they can report is
Oh, that's those smoke shops that ain't even,
Facts.
that's not even licensed too. The bodegas and shit.
But
like,
even the smoke shops that are licensed, you see these things are so specific.
there's
You
only
could-
I think one here in New York City that you actually could go like
or two, yeah, the ones that they debuted on the
on the news.
news.
I mean, maybe. But there's mad dispensaries you could low key go
Yeah,
to.
we know
It's
that
a
shit.
it's
It
a
is,
thousand.
it is
shit.
New
I
York
know
City.
some of them
here.
are fully operational
And
or
if it's a
something.
will, there's three
Yeah.
types of ways. You feel me? It's best city on earth. It's a city to make a hustle.
New York, everybody
You know
making
what I'm
money, bro.
saying? But I also feel like if it was a little bit more accessible for people to really get into the marijuana market, they wouldn't really have to go down these type of routes. I'm very much interested in like legally having marijuana businesses, but it's difficult and it's really a white person's game. Like they
The
very
accessibility
much
is not there. Yeah,
they very much legalized it, and then after they legalized it, they just made it another way for rich white people to sit there and get money. Most of the individuals that own a lot of these big dispensaries are the same individuals that were owning tobacco companies and just moved over. You know what I'm sitting here
Transition,
saying?
yep.
And just move over.
now they got their hand in that pocket, and now
Right.
you're supposed to trust them with the way they run that shit.
And as
They've been doing it for years already with tobacco.
And as we sit here and we smoke the beautiful ganja of the earth, you know what I'm saying? There are people still in jail right now for what we are smoking, just so
That's just
freely
sitting there.
and so da 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 da. This is why I'm making my business to light a spliff and I walk past police. I'm sorry, that's my way of
Yeah,
rebelling.
now we allowed to.
How dare you?
Now
Yeah.
How you do when I'm making my business right to you and I offer
Yeah.
you something, go psych. We're not
Officer,
that
you got a
cool.
light?
Yeah,
got a light?
we're not
Right.
that. We're not that
You
cool. You know what I'm saying?
ready to smoke this?
Nigga said we're not that cool.
Yeah, like that. It's just so messed up how they sat there and have done this. And like, does anybody know like how marijuana got illegal in the first place?
No, but cause I have like read stuff about when it was accepted, widely accepted. People used to sell tinctures and all that. Like the medicine doctor would be on the street.
It's been
Shouting out.
used for thousands of years. For thousands of years. You know, first of all, when you do other substances, like when you do cocaine, for example, it leaves your body in about what I would say 24 to 48 hours. Alcohol leaves your body about 24 to 48 hours. You know, marijuana leaves your body in a month.
Supposedly.
Why? Because we, as human beings, have evolutionized ourselves along marijuana plants. We've been doing this for a very long time. So there's a reason why it stays in our system for a very long time. We have not been doing alcohol and cocaine and these other substances as long as we've been doing marijuana. So when we do these other substances, our body's like, what the fuck is that? Get it out. When we do marijuana, it's like, oh yeah, I remember you. Thank you for being a friend. And it stays with you. It stays with you and it hugs you at night. You feel me?
I hate that.
But we've been using it for what? Medicinal purposes, using it to treat ailments, to treat pains, to treat cancer. But the main thing that was the problem was that people realized that you can start using weed, well, hemp, to make paper, right? And not only can you make paper, but it's cheaper because conventional paper is made out of what? Trees, right? How long it take a tree to grow? How long it take marijuana to grow?
Roughly a good year, 7 months.
And so in that same, and it takes what, maybe 7 years for a good tree to grow, maybe 10 years, you feel me? I don't know what type of trees they out here using, but in that same time, in that same amount of land that they use to grow that one tree, how much marijuana plants can one really sit there and grow? 100% cheaper. And newspapers, they're not like that. Newspapers, they're not like that at all because they're printing their newspapers on what? Actual paper. So they started printing a whole bunch of lies that reefer madness, marijuana used by black men was making them rape white women, and even the name marijuana was a derogatory term that they were using for Mexicans because Mexicans were using cannabis a lot, and that's what the original name of marijuana was, cannabis. You know what I'm saying? So, with all that being said, even the fact of marijuana being illegal, cannabis being illegal, is 100% promoted by racism and promoted by, you know, greedy capitalism and this, that, and the third. This is a substance that we've been using for years. I used to judge this shit so hard. Back before college, I used to be like, yo, you smoke, you're a crackhead. Please stay away. I don't want anything to do with you. You're tainted. Wow. There's something wrong with you.
And then what changed your perception?
What changed that perception? What made you want to open up and really start diving into weed?
Well, I would like to note that I said before college, because college came. And if you think you really stress, you ain't hate college. College is a level of stress. Like I said this to many people, college is a 7th circle in hell. Like, you know, like there's 9 circles in Dante's Inferno. College is number 7. And let's see if you could escape this one, because this is going to be a fucking doozy. So I had like, 3 fucking papers due in like one day and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And everybody was smoking. Now, when you're a person that don't smoke, the people who do smoke around you, they just entice you. They just want like nymphs in the forest, like sirens. Just please come join us. Come, because they see. And I used to sit there and be like, well, why can't you respect the fact that I don't smoke? But it's because those who do smoke have a certain type of sight where they see all the stress that people who don't smoke go to, and they know that you just hit this spliff and you're gonna be so okay. Like, you can't sleep, here's the answer. You can't eat, also here's the answer. Like, you have some pain, here's the answer. So with all of that being said, they just kept, come smoke. I'm like, nah. So I walked out of the room real quick, started Googling. I just started Googling different artists to find out how much artists smoke, right? How much artists do I admire smoke? Every last one. Mm-hmm. From the rooter to the tutor. Every last one. From the top to the bottom. Okay. I was. And this was what was causing this beautiful music. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something. There's two artists I like the most, right? Erykah Badu and Sade. I don't know why I like Sade. I don't know why I like Sade so much. It's just, she's the only artist that could put me to sleep. If you could put music on and I go to sleep, that's some good ass music. Cause
I love that shit.
I like to sleep to total silence.
I don't sleep to that shit. I definitely vibe with it.
I'm from the people.
Shit came out when I was born.
So you gotta sleep to silence because you don't know what's. I like to sleep to silence, but you put some Sade on, I'm knocked for life. But even Sade's out here getting high. Everybody getting high. So I was like, all right, let me see what
There's something to it.
Let me see what this is gonna really hit for. Went inside the room. Also, for all those people who have never smoked before, when you are a new smoker, you don't pay for your weed. Everybody who's around you is responsible for getting you high. You a virgin, okay? You a virgin. You ain't gotta pay for nothing.
You still trying.
You know what I'm saying?
You still trying it.
But there's also,
you're not buying it. You still trying it.
There's also other, there's a little fine print that you don't read. If you didn't buy the weed, you're not allowed to just tap out on weed you didn't buy. No, they using this split. They was like, you want to be with the big dogs, you want to be with the big dog. So I smoke. You feel me? Oh my God. Oh my God.
I see shit differently now.
Something hugged my soul. Like something literally hugged my soul from the inside. Like it reached inside. Like when you get a hug, right? You feel it on the outside. I felt a hug on the inside of me. You know what I'm sitting here saying? That shit was crazy. First of all, I kept laughing. I never experienced, happiness like that before in my life. Nobody told the
Same
joke.
shit when I was fucking first smoking.
Nobody told the joke. There wasn't a single.
Super.
I think I told the joke
Fine.
to myself. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Sometimes you have to.
Yeah, it was funny.
Because you have to practice your jokes before you say them to other people. Make sure they go by the people inside your head. So it didn't get past the people inside my head. That's how funny it was. I was weak. I was weak on that couch. It was so serious I had to leave. But I also left that room because even though I smoked with those people, like I had two groups of friends, and they energy wasn't the energy that I really sat there and needed at the moment. That was the first time high on weed that I really understood energy and vibes. Like that, a bad vibe will really make you feel sick. Sick, physically sick to your stomach, like physically. When you people like to ignore their gut feelings. When you walk in a room and you feel that feeling, get out. You feel me? Like a bad vibe will really make you feel sick. And I was ignoring bad vibes my entire life. But weed will really force you not to. Like that shit will scream at you, like, get the fuck out this room. You don't want to sit there and be here. Especially in your first time being high.
It's time to go, nigga.
Because I've heard so much stories about having a bad high, and I ain't want to, you feel me, have a bad high. That was my worst fear. So I left the room, and I went to a different room. And I went to a different room. Oh my God, that was the first time I felt self-love, everybody. You feel me? Because I was bugging. I know I was bugging. But I don't care. Let me tell you why. Because I was having a good time. I don't know what type of time you were having, but I'm hot.
He said I was chilling.
You feel me?
No worries.
And again, usually when we in front of other people, we are so much caring about the impressions that we have made and are making and will make. And I got high and did not give a fuck. Because that is what life is supposed to sit there and be. Again, another inspiration of mine, Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee. Why Bruce Lee is one of the inspiration of mine? Because he made big niggas scared. You feel me? Bruce Lee pumped fear in everybody's heart. Bruce Lee made people like me, who's my size, walk around with a little pep in their step when he was out here with Enter the Dragon. Because it was like, I'll do his move and it's over. But
that's a fact.
Bruce Lee said something that is very, very inspirational, which is true freedom is when you no longer care about the impressions that you have made or will make. And that was this was the first time that I just did not give a fuck about the impressions that I had made.
People don't understand that shit though.
That's when you entered the fuckets.
Yeah. And Cat Williams said, remember you smoked that shit? He said, all you need is a little bit of fuck it. You know? That should have changed your perception.
That's a fact. A little bit
of
fuck it.
Nigga said, if you don't smoke weed, I don't know what the fuck you are doing.
You bugging the fuck out.
And there was somebody there that I was like very much like talking to at the time. You know, it was college. And when you in college and you dorming by yourself and stuff, like, you're going to wild out. So all the people who haven't got to college yet probably going to listen. Everybody say the same thing. No, I ain't going for that. I ain't going for that. Shut up.
It's college.
Shut up. You there for that.
That shit bound to happen.
You there for it now.
You trying everything.
Because it's people from all around the world that you never seen. You thought you know what beauty was until you go to college and you meet people from Kansas and places you ain't never even sat there. You forgetting these places exist. No, these places got people and these people be pretty. You feel me?
Different.
So,
yeah, that's a fact.
Well,
just like they could recognize people from New York.
That's a fact.
I was talking to somebody at the time and I kind of wilds out because, I was kind of high. But, it was funny. I'm always the life of the party. You feel me? But being this person, in fact, this person was more attracted to me after this experience than before this experience. Getting high taught me another thing. You feel me? If you gonna rock with me, you gotta rock with me. You know what I'm saying? If you gonna rock with me, you gotta rock.
Otherwise, you're liable to call it out.
And if you can't rock with me, then you can't rock with me. I'm a lot to handle. I'm rah when I wake up sometimes. You feel me? Depending on the time of the morning. If it's 6, nah, not at all. Because nobody likes to wake up at 6. The Roosters is not up at 6. But you know what? Catch me at 7 a.m. I wake up just like this. You feel me? If you can't handle that type of pressure, or if that's not the type of, I shouldn't even say that type of pressure, but if that's not the personality that you can really sit there and vibe with, that's perfectly fine. That don't make me any less of a lit person because I'm high.
That's a fact.
Weed taught me all of that by smoking one time. I said, get the fuck out of here. I got to show the world this.
That should change.
Why are we not fucking funding this?
People have their different perceptions, but I hear what you're saying on that. You know
that
what I'm
should
saying?
change your whole outlook on weed.
I was going around like the motherfucking paper boy, like news call, weed, read all about it. Have you heard about this shit?
If you have not,
try this shit.
And then simply because of the simple fact that like a lot of us, relate differently, but the same at the same time. Like, I didn't go to college, nigga, but in the hood, like, we were smoking weed because it was a sense of a way to ease the shit that we was going through. It was that fuck it for us, right or wrong. Like, we were going through mad shit, and niggas, at the end of a hard fucking day, niggas would roll that L and be like, fuck it. Like, all that shit happened, fuck it, it is what it is.
I'm good now.
Tomorrow's another day, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm
like,
straight now.
I really personally really feel like also, and I say this all the time to all my younger viewers out there of life. I don't know who be watching this. You feel me? Also, it's school tomorrow. No, actually, no, they on spring break.
Nah, they on spring break.
Do your thing. Do your thing.
Do
your thing. Can you watch? But to all the younger individuals out there, bro, if you haven't tried weed yet and you're in high school, don't try it till you graduate because you need to go through the public school system.
Prioritize this shit, yeah.
Weed shows you why everything is bullshit, right? You smoke weed one time, and it's going to start pointing out to you. This don't make sense, that don't make sense, this don't make sense, that don't make sense. Nah. The public school system truly does not make sense.
At all.
Even the private school system is very much failing, but definitely for our public school system. You smoke weed, they're going to start seeing all the bullshit. That shit will make you not want to go. To the point where you just like, no. They judge people's ability. They will have a monkey and a fish and say the smartest person is whoever can climb a tree the fastest. You judge everybody by the same test without really considering individuality, considering individual perspective, learning styles, all of these things. And now you have Timothy. Lil Timothy, who is the best at building shit and can probably fucking make a fan from nothing, but will go through his entire life believing he's stupid because he can never sit there and solve an equation in a way that you want him to sit there and solve this. Weed makes you see all of that, and if you see all of that while you're still in school, you're probably going to stop going to school. So, with that being said...
Very insightful.
That's truth.
Make sure you get your diploma first, and then we can talk about it.
And then after you get your diploma, like that first spliff,
come to me. I'm right here.
you say, holla at them.
Yo, I just want to say
Actually,
something.
you gotta be 21 or older. Yeah, for other people, that's New York State law. You feel me? I don't want to get sued. When you're 21 years or older and you haven't tried weed yet, come to me. I'll show you a real good time.
That's the man right there. That's your man right there for that. He said tap in. Fuck it. If you haven't tried it, it's something you haven't seen yet.
He gonna set you
straight. You're going to be able to follow Buddha on his platform as he continues to grow through life and build and share his perspective with everybody else. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
I know if you see the episode description, I know it said something about time management.
Oh,
we never really went and talked to
sorry,
that. I'm actually going to just change that description to the mind of Buddha. You heard?
Niggas real deep over here.
That's what we tapped into today. We tapped into the mind of Buddha. We got to see Buddha's perspective on life and how he feels like weed has helped his perspective mold
and got to know him way much better
and see shit more clearly. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure a lot of people can attest to that as well. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
If you smoke out there, I see shit more clearly because I'm more aware because of. You know what I mean? You may attribute it to some things.
Even past weed, if you walk away with nothing else, you gotta just walk away with the fact that sometimes the best things are on the other side of shit that you either never tried before or too scared to try. And when you give yourself that push to just try the new things that seem to be kind of calling you from a distance, but you don't want to do it because you want to seem weird or you want to seem X, Y, and Z. Watch you discover yourself on the other side of those things. Watch.
That's the real message right there.
That's a fact. I gotta like the J for that.
That's a real message right there.
When you do it like that, life is fun. Life is
Yes,
good
sir.
to be
Because you never know what you can really succeed at or what will be good for you. How would you know it unless you try? You know what I'm saying? And don't base that on what others have experienced because because that person didn't make it at that doesn't mean you won't. You know what I mean?
Based it off your own experience.
What wasn't for him may be for you.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
And he ain't have the last of it. Remember I said that.
It's always
he ain't have the last. It's still more for you. Go get it. Go chase that.
Everybody, like I said, operating in this world of lack. Like there's a lack of something. When you compete, that's what that is. You're competing because you feel like there is a lack of resources. There's not enough to go around. No, there is. There is. There's always going to be someone who's rich. There's always going to be someone who's poor. And rich and poor is not about money. It really isn't. It's a mind state.
Mind state. That's a big fact.
It's a mind state. You know what I'm saying?
There's always going to be that one person that's in between.
You know what I'm saying?
Nobody else should be able to set that bar. No other thing should be able to set that bar besides you. What you feel rich is or poor is. You know what I mean?
Just like the goat's feeling. Everybody's a goat in their own right.
Everybody a goat. Everybody a god. Everybody has that God energy inside of them. Everybody has and I say this all the time. When I sit there and say this, everyone's a god. All the Christians out there, no, don't say that. It's only one God. Well, one. To all you Christians, again, I studied with Jehovah's Witnesses for a very long time. If there is anybody in this world that's going to go by the Bible the way the Bible is written, it's Jehovah's Witnesses. They don't even celebrate birthdays because the Bible says to not to. Like they are very serious about these things. But one of the main things that is said inside the Bible is that we are created in His image.
Exactly.
We are created in His image. And what is
whose image? Exactly.
Created in His image.
God's image.
You feel me? And one of the biggest things that makes a god is what? Gods have the ability to create and destroy. To ants, we are gods. To dogs, we are gods. To everything else but ourselves, we are gods. What the hell?
So that would be gods living amongst gods because
To everything else, to every other life form on this earth right now, we are gods except to ourselves. When you look in the mirror, you see what your name. No, I see a God. You know what I'm sitting there saying? I see a God. I see a person with the power to create or destroy. I see a God in training. I say that, a God in training. Why do I say a God in training? Because there's one thing that gods have that we don't have, and that gods know everything.
exactly.
Gods know everything, and I do not know everything. So with that being said, is just that's the main point of what I'm sitting here trying to get to. You know, go through life knowing that you know nothing. If you knowing nothing as the foundation, you open yourself up to knowing everything. I would have never been able to learn the magicals of weed, you feel me, if I really didn't accept the fact that I don't know shit.
It's a fact.
I probably don't even
as
know
well
half
as
what
anything
I'm
else you may have
And you
chose
open
to
up
learn
your
in
mind
life.
Listen, this
Like if you ride a bike, bro, you wouldn't even know if you could ride the bike unless you got up on that shit.
you know what I'm saying? I don't know shit. Some people think they know how to swim till they jump in that water. Yeah. I don't know shit.
I can't.
But you know what? It's dangerous when you don't know stuff and you act like you know. That is what's dangerous. There's a lot of people in powerful positions acting like they know what the fuck they doing, and they really sit there and don't know what they're doing.
Preach. They just have everybody else doing it and say
Feel
they
me?
did
But
it.
they're so good at acting. It's like, oh, and the other people around them
It's
don't know
believable.
what they do. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, who's there to sit there and really sit there and lead? I don't know nothing. But because I don't know nothing, I know something. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
And I keep it pushing like
You keep
that.
learning. You remain teachable.
You remain a student.
100%. You live as a student, you die
As a teacher. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shout out to that.
And once again, before we wrap this up,
Yes,
like I
sir.
said, today we tapped into the mind of Buddha.
The mind of Buddha. He gave y'all a
His
lot
perspective.
of gems and
Yes.
a lot
Yes.
of shit.
Yes. And listen,
Think about it.
I'm still young. Perspectives change.
being
People
built,
grow.
yeah.
This mind is
sir.
still being built. But this is just
Your current perspective.
the things I have learned on this wild journey
That's a
called
fact.
life, and trials and tribulations and fun and triumph and death and reincarnation. All of these beautiful things that make up the person that is all of us together. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, and I hope to see you guys more on
Yeah, we definitely gonna.
my journey of life and liberty
Facts.
and the pursuit of
Definitely.
happiness.
Tap in. There's a reason why the connection was already made. That's what I
You
believe.
know what I'm
here
sitting here
today.
saying? Listen, the universe works in mysterious
Yes, it
ways.
does.
I say that as I go along, I see that more and more. So
Yes,
I can
yes.
truly attest to that.
Just the universe. I hope it keeps taking us in those right mysterious ways.
100%, 100%.
Yeah, no, as I always say, y'all stay tapped in out there. I'm going to drop these overlays on the screen.
Drop the
As we-
link below.
Yeah, I mean.
Drop the link.
I need
You know what I'm
everybody to
saying?
start
Tap
tapping
in.
in.
Right
I need
here.
everybody to start sharing. I need
feel me?
everybody to put
Sir.
it everywhere.
At
Spread
the
the word
Spittlez,
at the
I am Potch
Spittlez.
FM, at Cuban Hound. Tap in. You
Cuban
already know. We out there. Like I told
At
y'all,
the Spittlez.
I implore y'all to hit the DMs. Drop us some messages, some suggestions.
you want.
100%, 100%.
You know what I mean? This is an evolving platform for us, and we change every week. We do things differently, but consistency is here because
At
we're here
an
every week.
all-time
We
high
doing this,
every
we
week,
trying to
no
grow.
matter what time
We're
it
remaining
is.
teachable. You know what I'm saying? There's only one way to do this shit, and that's to do it, right? So
Up and it's up and it's up and it's
stuck.
up.
What do you say? You know what I mean?
you know what I'm saying?
I
So
don't like that.
We invite y'all to join us again next Tuesday.
Right here, same.
Not gonna say a time. We will be here Tuesday evening.
Tap in night. Tuesday
Tap
night.
in on the Instagram. You're gonna see us on the Instagram. We're gonna announce when we're arriving like we normally do. So
I will see Buddha a lot more.
hope to see y'all. Tap into Buddha. Keep following him
Follow
out there
him
on his
on
journey as
all
well.
his
We're gonna
shit,
tap in
like-
with him. We're gonna see more of Buddha as well. We're gonna keep shit growing. You know what I mean?
Tap him in on all his social media platforms.
Oh,
Follow
every
that
last
boy.
one of them. I ain't on TikTok yet because I ain't learned how to work it. But you know what? Hey, if y'all want to teach me, I'm open for
I say the
everything.
same shit.
You
I got
know
a
what?
bunch of shit to
TikTok
learn.
more complicated.
Whatever y'all feel y'all could teach us here, holla.
Eli-
Holla one holla.
Seriously.
ADHD be happening sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
I need everybody to like, follow, subscribe,
Turn on
Share.
your notification
turn
bell.
on that.
Tell
Come on, everything that's gonna spread the movement and the message.
Tell
you know
a
what I'm
friend.
saying?
Tell a
Like,
friend,
seriously.
so tell that friend to tell that friend, so they could tell that friend. And as a matter of fact, open it up for them. Like, yo, look at these lip brothers. They
like that.
lit.
That's a fact.
And
Yo.
holla at them.
Just like that.
Okay,
And if they can't open it up,
Even hit the subscribe button for them.
You know what I'm
you
saying?
feel me?
And
You feel
make-
me? And the like button and the
Bing.
share button.
That's a
You
fact.
feel
Yo,
me?
hold on, let me do that real quick.
Yeah.
And then teach them how to do it
IG,
themselves.
hit that follow button for them.
Facts,
Yeah,
facts,
look, it's my
facts.
homie. Boom, follow. That's it.
At the
I
Spittlez,
did that for you.
y'all.
I did you a favor. You heard? Trust the process.
Just follow me.
Trust the
Follow me.
process.
Go crazy. I
Just follow
saved
me.
you. Okay. You're welcome.
Yes,
Yo,
you're
you know what I'm
welcome.
saying?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, you're welcome.
You feel me?
Should be saying thank you.
No doubt. But thank y'all.
Thank you.
As
Every
always,
week,
we love
every
y'all.
week.
Come holler at us next week. You heard? Y'all have a good night and a good week. See you next time.
Deuces.